I am coming from the 20th floor of an apartment in Miami today to talk about the whole thing going down with TikTok. And I've seen it firsthand here what's happening. There are creators literally crapping themselves because this coming ban and how they've been making money from TikTok that may be ripped away from them in less than 24 hours' time. So there's been a complacency thinking, no, the government's not really going to ban TikTok. It may not in the end. It might not. But as I sit here, it's the 18th of January, and tomorrow TikTok apparently will go dark in the US. This really does bring up a big problem for the creator economy. Now, I am no fan of influencers and full-time creators, primarily because they often are selling something. They're selling growth and they're selling success on a platform most of the time. And it's a bit different selling, hey, I can make you, I'm famous on Instagram, I can make you famous on Instagram too, than selling a coaching program or a business consultancy service. It's just a completely different ball game. So I often get frustrated with creators because they basically sell something that most people can't achieve unless they change what they're selling. So if you want to say, I'm an Instagram growth guru, you can make a lot of money on Instagram. But if you're not an Instagram growth guru, it's much more difficult. But anyway, what this whole TikTok thing really crystallizes, and hopefully it crystallizes for people listening to me, is how building a business where you are so exposed to social media changes is just flipping dangerous. Pretty much, just think about these TikTokers who've been raking it in. They've been making really good money. They've had a great lifestyle, and it can all disappear, gone. And they then have to either pivot to another platform and rebuild again. Because, the fact that TikTok goes away today, yes, they can keep making the content and move to Instagram or YouTube, but they probably will have to build up their following again and almost go back to square one. So they're basically, it's been ripped away from them. Now, I'm sure there's people hopeful, and maybe Donald Trump's it being inaugurated here on Monday, that things can flip around. But the reality is, if you're a creator, your income could be gone and, that lifestyle you've built. And this brings me to, you. And, my business, yes, I help people get clients from LinkedIn, but my business is not about, becoming dependent on a platform. My business actually, and if I said to people, the top of the tree is to use social media to build your email list, because you control your email list. It's in your control, your algorithm proof. Now, let's say, for an example, LinkedIn disappears. My main channel, LinkedIn disappears overnight. That's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass for me. That's going to be a bit of a problem for me. But it doesn't have to be a problem for you. You're probably, the people listening to me you are not selling LinkedIn. Your job is to use social platforms to get conversations with the right people and build that email list. And this whole TikTok thing has really kind of, I think, shown people more clearly how critical it is to build a network that a technology company does not control. Over the last 25 years, technology companies have got between us and our customers. If you look at Amazon, Amazon's business model is to create a marketplace, and they insert themselves between buyers and sellers. If you look at Facebook, they have inserted themselves between people and businesses. Every technology platform you see has created revenue and made money by becoming the gatekeeper to the audiences. That's how they make money. And so for you listening to me, this is the strongest I can get to. You have to build your email list. So let me give you some things that you can do to build your email list. Number one, start advertising your email list. Pin it to the top of your profile on LinkedIn. Pin it to the top of your Twitter or X account. Put it in your web URLs across all of your socials. Drive people to sign up. That's number one. Get it in your profiles on all your channels. Number two, making it a slither of your content, say one post a week, one story a week, to actually tease the value in your newsletter to drive traffic there. Yes, I know they won't be the most popular posts, but you will get signups. Massive. So use one post a week to tease the value that they can get from being in your newsletter. And make it specific so they go and they get it. They get that value. Number three, use your comments to promote your newsletter. On every post, everything you do, put a comment promoting your newsletter. It will drive more traffic. I know it's a bit trickier on Instagram, but you want to do that on LinkedIn. You want to do it on X. You want to do it on Threads. You want to do it on Facebook. Use it to drive it. Next thing, every new follower, every new connection, every new Facebook friend, start sending them thank you notes. And in that thank you note, you want to say, hey, here's my newsletter. I just shared this, and here's the link if you want to have a look. Now, these are simple things, but if you do these consistently, you'll start to get 5 signups a week, 10 signups a week, 13 signups a week, and you'll start to build it. And that will protect you from you becoming vulnerable to, a TikTok style shift or a platform suddenly not working or going your way. And I do this. I am conscious that I'm all in on LinkedIn. I do the other channels, but they're kind of like not as good as my LinkedIn. But I am vulnerable. And so my email newsletter or my email list is like critical to me long term, because one day LinkedIn could decide, yeah, we're going to do things differently. And suddenly Dean isn't as visible. And LinkedIn could decide, actually, we don't want LinkedIn people on the platform, and we're going to delete their accounts. All sorts of crazy shit could go down. But if you've got your email list, like literally it will save your bacon. And I want to share a story here to make the case for this. When the pandemic hit, most of my business was in-person workshops. And suddenly I wasn't able to deliver those workshops. Now I deliver in 2025, I will speak at 150 events. It's insane. I love events, by the way, so I don't complain about it. I love it. But 150 events, each one paying me money. In 2020, it was about 50, 60, each one paying me money, and they all stopped. For 2 years, my email list, I launched a new pivot service, a LinkedIn done-for-you agency called Pinnacle. And for 2 years, my email list fed that business. Brand new aspect of my business because I didn't have my events. And that was the power of my email list. That was the power of my email list. And every week, I'm nurturing through my email list. And every week, I get people messaging me, emailing me, asking for my help. And the great thing about an email list is it's a long-term nurturing game. So literally 2 weeks ago, somebody spent £9,000 with me. $9,000, sorry. They'd been in my email list for 2 years. I've had other scenarios. Somebody just dropped £7,000 with me. Why? They've been in my email list. The trust piece. And the reality is, and this is why we post content. This is pretty much why we post content on social media. People are not always ready to buy right now. They might have the problem that you solve, but it's not painful enough. They don't have the incentive to kind of do anything about it right now. So the nurturing power of your email list is you can keep yourself front and center with people who potentially need you, but not right now. And yes, it's a bit of work. Yes, it's a commitment, but it's a bit like a long-term investment strategy. That's how you need to think about email. Now, it doesn't have to take, 25 years to mature, but it's a long-term investment strategy. The returns get better as it gets bigger. The returns get better the more you nurture it and add value into it. And I swear by email, even in 2025, when you've got all these social channels, all of this stuff, I swear it's by email lists. So if you're sat on the fence, maybe you've started building an email list and you got a bit disillusioned with it, fire it back up again. Make it a discipline. Make it a regimented thing, and use those key things that I mentioned about putting the links in your profile, putting them in the comments of your posts, teasing posts, teasing value in your newsletter that they can go and get in a post or a story. You know, doing this stuff, the thank you notes in messages, all of these little things could all drip, drip, drip bring you new people into your email list that you can nurture and build a revenue machine from your email list. So do it. I swear by it. And I have a fixed routine. My Saturdays, I enjoy doing my newsletter. One of the things as I've got older is I've really enjoyed writing more and creating more. I used to feel of it as a chore. I used to be so eager to want a sale that the whole writing newsletters and all that, I'd get frustrated because I wanted sale, and I didn't want to have to do that kind of work. But as I've got older, I really enjoy writing and podcasting and putting things together to help people. And then people message me and go, that was amazing, Dean. I've had people bump into me at places and say, ask me questions about stuff. So it is a massive opportunity for you, and anybody can do it. And this whole thing about TikTok has just kind of highlighted to me as these content creators are kind of crapping themselves. You don't want to be in their position. You don't want to be in their position right now where they're going, what's going to happen? And almost it's that feeling, isn't it, of going, I'm almost starting again. I'm almost starting all over again. It's not quite, but it must be like, if you get into their world, it must be pretty daunting right now. If you've been making 10, 15 grand in, creative fun projects and stuff, and commissions on TikTok shop sales, and then suddenly you're here in the US and go, oh my God, I've got to start all over again and rebuild this thing. And let's be honest, your business model on another channel will be completely different to TikTok because of the different ways it works. So build that email list, become algorithm proof. And I've given you some really practical ways that you can build your email list there. So from the 20th floor of an apartment building in Miami, where there's lots of creators crapping themselves, please, please, please build your email list.